Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining. Today, my name is Igor. I'm founder of Web2Wave. We create web funnels for mobile applications and other subscription services. And today, I would like to welcome Jacob. Yeah.
Hey,
So, yeah,
Igor.
guys. Yeah. Hello. Thank you for joining too, Jacob. Let's go straight to the point. So, like everyone who's building mobile application or web funnel for mobile application, they want to improve their conversion. And to improve conversion, there are a lot of ideas, tricks, I would say, or hints, or cases that you can reuse in your app or in your web onboarding. And we always recommend to use them because each of these small things, small tweaks can improve your conversions by 1, 2, 3, 5, even 10%. And eventually you can even double your conversions where you need them. That's why we invited Jacob from Botsi. Botsi is a cool tool. Well, Jacob, you will tell about your product better than me.
Sure.
With Jacob, we already work on a few clients where we connect Web2Wave and Botsi. And Jacob has a great experience and content about some things that you can use on your paywalls. So this webinar is about how to improve conversions on paywalls. The content is mostly built for mobile applications, but I would say most of the ideas can be reused on web. Where it's not applicable, we will add some comments. So yeah, thank you again, everyone, for joining. Jacob, your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Igor. I'm super excited to chat with you all and share some learnings and hopefully some new experiment ideas. I'm the founder and CEO of Botsi. Botsi is a tool to figure out the right offer to show to each user, the right paywall. We build custom models using AI and ML to figure out what paywall is right for each user to drive the highest LTV. And so often seeing anywhere from 15 to 30% plus revenue uplifts. And so we've been really excited to kind of partner with you guys. And so we work across web funnels, in-app products, but I love, I've worked in the subscription app space and mobile app space my whole career. And, I've built my own consulting business before Botsi. And, I have a newsletter called retention.blog. It's a blog, a newsletter. I don't know. Go subscribe. I think you'll like it. I try to really put together actionable and tactical ideas for tests and monetization, retention. So hopefully you can learn something there too. But today we collaborated with a number of really kind of expert consultants in this space and put together our 48 laws of subscription app success. And today we're going to go over the paywalls and monetization section where we have, I think, around 15 different tests and experiments that are proven to work from other leaders in this space, from consultants, from expert growth leaders, from other founders. And so maybe some of these you've tested. I can't promise every single one will work for your app, but I'm pretty sure that some of them will. I would be very surprised if none of them didn't lead to an experiment win. And so hopefully we can uncover something new for you today.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's start.
All right. Great. Here we go. And so Igor, please feel free to kind of jump in. I'd love your perspective on the web side, and maybe I'll ask some questions of if you've seen some of these tactics work on web paywalls and web funnels too. As you mentioned, most of this is focused on kind of in-app paywalls, but the tactics and principles and ideas, a lot of them also work kind of across any kind of conversion funnel or checkout page. Yeah. And so real quick, I think you guys will like this. We're going through one section of the 48 Laws of Subscription App Success today. So we'll follow up with some links, and you can go find that as well. But we've got a lot of stuff here, so we can't go through it all today, but we'll go through the paywalls and monetization section today. So yeah, let's dive in. So first, I think that's here, and let me go to the visual here. But the idea is a scrollable, information-rich paywall is often what a lot of users need. This company, you can see the before and after. They had a simple. You can see the trial timeline paywall. No, it's in French. It's okay. You don't need to be able to speak French to get the ideas. But they started with this simple paywall, and they moved to this longer scrollable paywall with lots of different proof points. Where the reason why this works is that some people will convert immediately and don't need everything below the fold. But there's a lot of people that are coming into your app that need more information and aren't ready. And so by having information available that people can scroll to, it allows them, the people who need it, to actually access it. And so it kind of caters to kind of both types of audiences. And this translates really well to web funnels and conversion web paywalls as well, because you can show at first just the kind of checkout standard paywall, but you can kind of have hints that there's more information below the fold, and people can scroll to that. So, what do you want to think about there? One, like social proof, testimonials are obvious. A great option is a short FAQ, kind of addressing common objections that people have. If you can add this, I've seen kind of founder stories and kind of the storytelling, emotion building and connection work well. Probably better for earlier stage brands where it's like really founder-led marketing and the founder is still a huge part of the story. Once you get a little bigger, that may not be kind of as quite effective. But then also just reiterating everything you've told before from your funnel. And so this is, I think, works a lot. And actually, it might even be more common on the web funnel, web paywall side than in-app. And so maybe this is not news to you all, but I think that it's definitely something you should be trying.
Yeah, I will. Everything is great. I would add here and emphasize the thing that you mentioned about the objections that people may have in their head. We also always tell that, like, even if in a mobile application you have a pretty short paywall that may work for you, on web it will be way more harder to explain to user what they're paying for, because in mobile application they are already there and they understand that, like, they downloaded mobile application from the app store, so they know how subscription works, they know how to cancel subscription, they know how it will be renewed, they know how Apple protects them, they know how they can get their money back, and in general they understand that this is a mobile application. On web, they may not understand at all what they're paying for, and that's why we always recommend that you should write a list of objections and questions that the clients may have on the paywall. And on top of this list, there should be questions like, who the hell are you? Why should I pay you? How can I trust you? What I'm paying for? Is it a mobile application? Is it a video course? Will you send me a CD disc with some videos? Or what? So you create the list of these objections, and then you go over your paywall and you check, okay, this question is answered, this not. So let's create some block on the paywall that will answer this question. And if you answer all the questions, then it will convert better.
Yeah, I think an important point that the if you're sending someone into an app from your web funnel, you have to remember, yeah, they don't understand what the product is yet. They're not in the app. And when you're actually in the app and converting people in an app, you can have an aha moment that's like actually the real product experience. But when you're driving conversions in the web funnel, you have to think, how am I going to get someone to understand the value and all like experience it without experiencing it? And so, yeah, you got to do a little more work typically, yeah, for the web funnel. So that makes a lot of sense. Cool. All right, let's go to the next one. So you should not give up after trying to convert someone initially, essentially. And I think we'll talk about how we can extend this to a few different areas. But first off, like simply following up with a second offer if someone doesn't convert immediately is a really good principle. One way to think about it is that different people coming into your app have different levels of intent and different willingness to pay. You're going to typically, we try to solve some of this with Botsi, but typically you are showing one offer up front and going, I hope this works for everybody, where obviously there's different willingness to pay. And so one thing that these second offers do is just try to get at people that have a little bit lower willingness to pay and just need a discount to convert. And so whether you're in-app, on web, you should have a secondary offer, a follow-up offer that's a discount, a longer trial, a shorter paid trial, something that tries to get at and tries to convert them. We know that, okay, 90% of people aren't going to convert. So there's a pretty big opportunity, even if you convert a few more percentage of people, this is going to make an impact. You want to offer some discount, but also if you can make it appear as kind of a limited time offer that it won't last, this will typically kind of create a higher sense of urgency. A sale offer that is permanent is not a sale. It's just the price. And so there's no urgency to buy. So this is an important concept to think about. If you're offering a discount, you have to have it expire or go away at some point. Otherwise, what is the incentive for someone to purchase right now? So show a discount, show a different offer, impart a sense of urgency. And then one other thing, and I'm curious, Igor, if you guys do this well on the website, is I've seen that showing a quick survey. If someone didn't purchase immediately, you go, hey, what was wrong? Why didn't you subscribe? Was it because of price? Was the trial length too short? Was there other reasons? And then you can kind of customize the offer. And so if they say the price was the reason, you can show a discount. If you can say the trial was a reason, you can show a longer trial. Sometimes this doesn't work, but it still can be helpful for research and understanding the customer objections. And you can craft still a single second offer. Maybe it's not a personalized one, but this has been a pretty cool approach I've seen work well recently.
So, well, actually, we don't do it on mass. I don't remember any results of this kind of questionnaire. I remember one of our clients did that, but it's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. We will try to push it because, like, usually we just add these exit offers. So, like, if the user sees some price, they open a payment form, then they close the payment form. Then sometimes we offer them a discounted price. Like we basically send them to another paywall with added a block like, hey, you have additional discount, higher discount. And actually, it may not work. We have a lot of cases when it's not working. I would say like you're cannibalizing the sales that you could do on the first paywall. Like people just they closed the payment form. It doesn't mean that they don't want to pay. So in some cases the experiment was negative, and our clients didn't roll it out. So yeah, on web is different. I would also add here to the mobile, like we saw experiments when you just animate the screen with a discount and the conversion goes higher. So if you put, for instance, just a static image of a gift saying new users offer, here is your 50%, you will have like conversion X. But if you animate the same gift, and the conversion can be higher. We saw it multiple times on different apps in mobile application. So just make it cool, and make the discount like very visible. Add the timers. Jacob, you mentioned about that, so it does work.
Yeah, 100%. I think to your point, there's different types of trigger points for these second offers. Like in app, you can have somebody that sees a paywall, closes out of it. You can have somebody that actually presses the CTA button and triggers the Apple payment card and then closes that. And so you can have different levels of intent and different abandonment from the paywall. And so think about those users differently as well. And maybe they need different offers, where if someone presses actually continue to purchase, they potentially have a higher level of intent and they just need a little reinforcement or reminder. If someone doesn't make it that far, maybe they have lower intent, but test this out and test these different points in your app about kind of these different re-engagement offers. And to your point, like if you have a free experience where people can go use your product for free, think about this long tail and how the cannibalization will work and discounts, and are you going to convert users over a longer period? Like you say on web, people click around a lot, right? You're clicking, open the payment page, you look at it, you go back, you want to read some more information again, you open it again. And so like think about what actually users are doing and how they're engaging with things. And maybe it's not the first time they X or close out. Maybe if they're lingering on a page for a while, that's a signal of that they need something else. They need an extra nudge. And so get a little creative, about how you target these offers and what type of offers. And it doesn't only have to be discounts. Like a longer trial is often an effective approach to win people over.
Yeah, and I also see comments here in the chat that second offer on the onboarding could cannibalize purchases in the app. Yes, correct. If you have like a lot of sales not on the first onboarding, so it really can cannibalize. And then depends on like your morale. I would say it's possible that you can put just the same price that was on the previous paywall into this new user software, so the price will be the same, but just like you pack it a little bit different. It's kind of gray area, but I mean technically it's possible to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's not about a discount, it's about a different offer or different product, where maybe you push annual plans on your first paywall, but maybe someone isn't ready to commit to that longer term. Show a secondary, hey, not ready for a long-term commitment, try a weekly plan or try a monthly plan. And so think about this as well as a different lever, where annual plans, okay, this is good, we have higher LTV, but it's not right for everybody. Follow up with kind of different offers or different products for people to try out too. So it's not just show a discount and hope. There's lots of different things you can test to kind of figure out what works well. And so like, yeah, you can potentially cannibalize purchases later, but to be honest, most apps have massive drop off at the paywall, and most people never proceed that aren't going to use the app. And so it's your highest intent, highest leverage point. And so typically, unless you have some crazy freemium experience, some crazy retention and crazy long tail of conversion, like typically it's just going to help. It's less common that it's actually going to cannibalize purchases long term.
Yeah, I agree. I would say like 70 to 80% on average, 70 to 80% conversions are happening in the first session. So you have to do a lot of paywalls after the onboarding before the real experience. Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right, let's go. Let's see what's next. So this is just a quick little interlude, a little quote from Sven Jurgens. He's a great growth consultant, but you guys probably are all familiar with kind of frequency of ad impressions. You need multiple touches. Think about your paywalls like that too. They build and layer on each other. People need extra motivation. And so think about them as a cohesive experience that are catering to different users and different perceptions. And so people need more than one touch point if they're going to give you money. And so think about it like that, and think about it as a holistic experience. All right. to your point of like interactivity and engagement, most people just copy everybody else. They just show a static image. It's kind of boring. It's one screen. Maybe you're still stuck on the Blinkist trial timeline view or kind of standard paywalls. Well, like, how can you get more creative and more interactive in your app? A great method is this IG story-like view where you can kind of tap through in multiple screens. We'll talk more about multiple screen paywalls, but thinking about how you build some more interactivity and build some more engagement to have actually people read what your message is. Can you have animations? Can you have pop-ups? How does it appear to the user? How does it kind of show on the screen? Is it making someone happy? Like, are they looking at it? And can you make someone smile with some fun copy or something a little more interesting? And so I don't think people are creative enough on their paywalls generally. And think about it more from a user perspective about how this is making them feel, where people buy based on emotions, not logic so make someone feel good and make someone engage. And so, I think one way to start, and this doesn't translate to web, but on the IG, on the in-app, you can have this IG story view where you can see it. You can tap through multiple screens, and it allows people to swipe up to kind of trigger the paywall. But how can these same concepts of more interesting and engaging translate well to web?
Well, here I would say like we don't do much experiments where we just like add animations to the paywall or to the onboarding. We did have experiences when we were like improving illustrations during the flow, and it can help like because like if you just take generic AI slope illustrations and you put them into the funnel, people will feel that it's not great. When we add consistent illustrations, or especially when we make illustrations, it may improve. We didn't have much experiments that could state this, but we did have few of them successful. And also here, I would add some idea that the first recommendation that you gave, it was about like long paywalls. Sometimes it makes sense to take the long paywall and make it, I would say, like in multiple screens before the actual payment form. So yeah, like you can take all the same idea and you just make it not long but wide, I would say, in multiple screens. It's just like your screens from Flow reminded me that you can take the same content and you can put it in multiple screens. The content delivery, the content that you deliver is the same, but the structure is different. So it may help too.
Yeah, I think I have another tip on multi-page paywalls as well here later on. So we'll be able to dig more into that, which is great. Cool. And so another tip here, think about what happens before the paywall, how people are feeling, and if you can combine some emotional connection with the purchase, this works well. And so, here we go. Perfect timing. So these multi-page paywalls of it's a little smaller here, but yeah, essentially breaking up those motivational elements of, here's the trial reminder, of breaking that one up. A lot of like on the in-app side, making sure people know there's a free trial. On the I've seen on the website, I've seen having a screen before that like breaks down the price to like a daily price or a weekly price to make it appear cheaper versus having to see like a larger price point. So I've seen this work well. But also think about it. People don't read. People just skim over the text. And so if you can break a more information dense, rich screen, rich paywall into multiple screens, you have a higher chance of actually people absorbing the information. And so this is a good test to your point of a long paywall can help, but maybe also a wide paywall broken up into multiple screens gives users a better chance of actually absorbing this information. Cool. All right. So this is an interesting one. And I don't think it's not going to work for everybody, but I think it's worth trying for some people, where you can experiment with choose your price. What we're doing here is we're moving the choice away from should I purchase or not purchase to what is right for me? What should I purchase? And so when we look here, we have this is Rocket Money. This is a huge app, right? And so this works well for them. They used to have a slider. Now they have multiple options you can select here. And I've actually seen this another app in a slightly different implementation, but you can see we've got $8.99 a month, $9.99 a month, $10.99 a month. I think you can choose a custom amount that's a little lower, but you could never. There's never a zero option. But if you move to a few higher and lower price points that are all like you'd be happy with people paying, this can be an interesting win. And if there's also some way you can align it with your value prop, this makes it even stronger. Where Rocket Money, it was formerly Truebill, I think their value prop was finding subscriptions in your finding subscriptions on your credit card statements and helping you cancel them. So it was kind of this thing of they're helping you find and cancel subscriptions, but they're also a subscription app. And so I think this forced some innovation of making it a little more fair where, hey, you can choose your price versus like we're forcing you into another subscription, but cancel subscription, where there's kind of this cognitive dissonance when they do that. And so if you have a product that has this type of ethos or kind of positive message or something around saving money, this could be a really interesting product or a really interesting test for you where it aligns your monetization more with the value of your product and create something to stand out. Think about there's always ways to differentiate yourself and stand out. And not enough people think about their business model or monetization tactics as a way to stand out and appear different. This will get you some loyal customers and get people that like your product more if you can make this convert well. And so it's a tactic I don't see tried enough.
Yeah, and it is widely used on web. And I saw a few funnels that they say like by paying more, you help us to help other people who cannot afford this application. So it's like a social impact kind of thing. But like, obviously, like they just take more money, but they have this nice connotation about how to not force, but how to move people to pay more for the same subscription. And you can have here like the price for the first trial. And yeah, by the way, usually they have here, they allow to select the price of the first trial of the first week, not the main subscription. On your screen, it's like $8.99, $9.99, $10.99. Like on web, usually it's like pay like $1.99, $5.99, $9.99. So 3 different price points. The structure is completely the same, but yeah, actually, it's the first time where I see where you just select the subscription price. Usually, because like interesting.
It's typically what you see the design your trial approach. Often this has become more popular of the annual plan with a 7-day trial or pay $199 for a 30-day trial, for example, up front. But on web, everything is intro offers and paid trials. And so, what I typically see is that it's actually different products, like different subscription lengths. People are purchasing at different prices, not actually choose a different price for the same product. Yeah, and so I think that's kind of what's innovative. I've seen the Plant app, Picture This, I believe it's called, has a slider where it's like choose your price, but they have different products. So it's kind of a similar thing where it's choose your price, choose the plan that's right for you, where it's annual with a higher price with a 7-day trial, a cheaper plan that's no trial, and then like a weekly plan or something. So you can, whether you do this approach, the messaging of choose your price and pick the plan that's right for you, can be valuable.
Yeah. Okay. Well, nice thing to test too. Good.
Yeah, and this might not appear like a super innovation, like use video, but not enough people do it. Like recording some simple videos and adding them to your experience, adding them to your paywall, imparts this feeling of quality, really, and it can create some strong engagement here. So I would. I think it's a little more expensive, a little harder to do. I mean, much easier than it used to be in this world of AI. So I think that a lot of people should try adding some video content to their either conversion funnel, on their paywall, as a conversion optimization tactic. I don't know. Do you see this a lot on web?
Well, we see this a lot for short dramas, but they sell video content by design, so their funnels consist of video. We did create multiple funnels with videos, like the award from a founder or some user reviews, stuff like that, and it worked. It worked. I don't have like exact data on. I can say that like by adding videos, the conversions improved, but we did have multiple successful funnels with videos inside it. And I think it falls in the same idea that, like you already mentioned, that like the people feel the quality. If you will have just like maybe nice designed text and answers and maybe screenshots of your application, this is like one level. But if you create a nice illustrations, you make them you make them animated, and if you add real people with the videos, it will show that it's not like people spend some time on this application and people buy from people, so it should increase conversions too.
Yeah. And to the point we were talking about before, if you're driving conversions on web, someone isn't actually in the app. And so you have to try a little harder to show the quality that someone's going to receive and get. And this can be a way to do that. All right. And so this picture is a little small, but think about how you're structuring your subscription plan to nudge people to the choices you want. And so what are these price points that make a longer term plan or a higher price plan feel like a better deal here? And so sometimes a quarterly plan or a 3-month plan can be a decoy to get someone to purchase a longer term plan. Or sometimes you can do the same thing with a monthly or weekly, and then you can have comparisons of going, oh, this longer term plan actually is a much better deal for me in comparison to these price points. And so think about if you have multiple subscription plans and subscription offers on your paywall, how are they interacting? They're not independent, right? People are comparing and price comparing them. And so can you drive people towards a longer term plan at a higher value, but it feels like a better deal? And so test out. Ultimately, this is about testing out the ratios between your price points, and don't just go, okay, here's the length of the subscriptions, here's the price points, and you can test higher prices and lower prices overall, but don't forget about testing the ratios between the prices on your plans.
Could you please make here the screen larger so we can look into the prices?
Yeah,
so we have here, the first one is, can we?
How do I do that?
Good question. Yeah. Okay, we can't do it, unfortunately. Okay. The first price is a 3 days trial, then weekly price. Then weekly price for $7.99. Second is 3 months for $39, then yearly $49. Okay, yeah. Yearly looks really nice compared to 3 months here. So the 3 months is decoy, and yearly plan is what you want to sell. Okay. Yeah.
And you can see that they have a emphasis on the weekly. And so a hot deal, try 3 days for free, where it's $8 a week. And so they know that the weekly is actually probably a profitable, good plan for them as well. And so they're happy with people going towards the weekly or the yearly. But ultimately, the 3 month plan is kind of a decoy here. And so, if you think about it, you need maybe like 5 weekly renewals to kind of equal the same revenue as a yearly plan. And so they're clearly driving people towards this weekly plan, which probably also tells me that they don't have great annual plan retention and they have a shorter term use case. If they thought they had really great annual renewals and annual retention rates, they would probably be trying to push more towards annual long term. But so something to think about there about how you structure your plans.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
okay.
nice.
All right, so this is not specifically a paywall optimization test, but you should be thinking about are you showing the same offer to everybody? So we talked about following up with a discount to people who didn't convert, but a lot of people are going to see the paywall and drop off immediately and never give your product a second chance once you ask them to pay. And so figuring out the right offer up front that aligns with the user intent and willingness to pay can be a huge win here. And so I'll talk about a few different levels of sophistication, how to do this. So one way is that you may have different acquisition channels or acquisition sources where maybe you have some organic users, maybe you have some paid traffic coming in. Maybe you have paid traffic from different sources. This paid traffic can convert at different rates, different levels of intent. Maybe you have different user acquisition costs. And so maybe you need to offer a different price points or different offers for this traffic. So acquisition source can be a simple way to kind of segment this. You can also look at some in your quiz funnel. What are users answering? Do you have questions that correlate with higher or lower conversion rates? In terms of sometimes you have like, hey, what's your goal for using this? Maybe for some wellness, improve my sleep or reduce my anxiety. Well, maybe the users say improve my sleep, have a higher LTV, a higher conversion rate, and you want to show them a longer term offer or a higher value offer. This can be simple segmentation. Once you get a little more sophisticated, Botsi is a tool that does some of this. We build custom models to figure out the right offer for each user, but you can probably start with simple targeting here and receive an uplift.
Yeah, this is actually why we work with you at Botsi, because like you create these models that help to identify the questions that do target. We did a few times, like for instance, you can ask like why you need this application, and if for business, obviously you can charge these people more. So we did multiple experiments like that. They were successful, and yeah, it works. We did not have any like ML-based recommendations apart of what we do with you. So yeah, for the context of for the visitors, it's possible to integrate Web2Wave and Botsi. So Botsi will optimize to which paywall to send on Web2Wave.
Yeah, all happens in real time, and I wouldn't like. One, obviously, I think you should use Botsi, but if you want to start with a simple segmented offer to kind of understand that this works, and then you kind of realize over time it gets very difficult to maintain with multiple offers and multiple segments. And this is part of the value of Botsi, where there's continuous learning, continuous optimization, and figuring out the right offer. But regardless, this is still something you should be thinking about whether you work with us or not. Yeah, so it's something cool that not enough people do, and the people. The really big companies have figured out these kind of dynamic offers and personalized offers, but it's not talked about enough. All right. And so in app, It's clearly not as relevant for website, but a simple conversion optimization tactic is that just let people know that what's locked. Let people know there's additional value there. Let people know that, hey, if you upgrade to premium, you're going to get more. And so sometimes people just aren't aware of this. They look at the app and they go, oh, this is nice. But they don't see everything they can unlock. And so simply adding lock icons to premium features, premium content, letting people know there's more there, typically is a nice conversion win. I've seen this time and time again, that like simply adding a lock icon will help boost conversion, people tapping. And of course, when people tap on the lock content, you trigger a paywall.
Yeah, totally agree. And I would say in a lot of applications, they just put a button like get premium, get premium, something like that on top of the application. It doesn't explain like why they need to get premium, what is inside of this premium. So yeah, it's great if you just show what is locked. Another way is to add some kind of banners that are different depending on the section of the application where the user is. So they will understand that there are different features in different sections that are limited. Sometimes it makes sense to make this, okay.
Similar.
Yes,
Not exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, unlock upgrade, but I believe that it works way more better when you don't like. Why should I unlock Zinc Premium? If like unlock Zinc Premium, or let's say enable your AI coach, if we talk about Zinc. So I believe that these kind of banners will work better, and if they're different and they have different content design icons in different sections of the application, it makes user understand that there are different features that they can purchase. And in general, it's just one click to the paywall. I mean, like if you want to improve final sales, improve the number of times the user see the paywall. So by adding the buttons, they see paywall more frequently then the absolute numbers will increase also.
Yeah, and so the contextual CTAs, making the actual call to action, the text on the button relevant to where the user is in the app. And then take it one step further, you can also have kind of dynamic paywalls that have dynamic creative that's based on where the user came from. So pull in a piece of image, pull in an image and add that to your paywall based on what someone tapped. And so the more you can kind of create this cohesive journey that aligns with the value, that this typically is a positive win. And last piece, kind of similar here, if someone is on a free plan, is in your app, simply adding like that it's a free version will kind of constantly remind them that there are things locked. There's more to get there, and so more reminders that you don't have the full edition. The one on Endel is really dark here, but you might be able to see it in the free edition. They have it too. So this is a tactic that works. Simply adding free edition, basic edition, limited edition, something to let people a reminder that there's more there. Kind of gets them thinking about, oh, what else could I get? What else could I do with this product if I unlocked everything? All right, so this is an interesting one where not very many people do this. It's probably more valuable if you're a little bit larger and have a base of returning users that have maybe already had a trial. And so if you have a users that you can look at this, you can see, okay, are there people that had a trial, their trial expired, but they're still using my app or coming back or re-engaging and returning? Then you might want to think about just offering them another trial. This doesn't really hurt you at all. They weren't going to convert anyway. So see if you can give them another offer, another chance, or another reason to get another kind of trial to test out test out your product. So I don't see this very often, but I don't know why more people don't do this. I don't think that the long tail of conversion is strong enough if you don't give them some offer. Like you may go, oh, well, I have a few percentage of people converting over time. They'll use my free product and eventually convert. They need a nudge. They need something else. If they haven't done it yet, what are they going to do? What are they waiting for? Like you have to try different tactics, try different offers here. And so, this is one of those where give them another trial, but also get creative about what other offers you can kind of do that is kind of contextual or relevant to their experience. Okay, they had a trial, make it relevant. Try another 7 days for free there. Kind of going to a relevant personalized offer based on their past experience.
Yeah, agree. Like if your application has a nice retention, which isn't the case for most of the application, but still, if your retention is good, you should always add these kind of offers. And I like how Flow does it. They show you some kind of offers on every app launch, and these offers became the discount became bigger and bigger the longer you are in a mobile application. So when you just start using it, they may offer like you 50% discount. In 1 month it will be 60, 70, and in 1 year they will offer you like a real 90% discount, which is like $9 per year. But in the beginning, it will be completely different, because like if users are still in your mobile application and they are not paying, so the chances that they will pay will go lower. Try to fight these low chances by increasing the offer and make it more appealing. But again, it's Flow. I mean, Flow can be used for years. It's not the case for most of the mobile applications. So like, don't expect that it will double your conversions if your retention is pretty low.
Yeah, exactly. And they also, they may show it's an 87% discount, but really the base price that they're discounting off of is higher. And so sometimes the discount percentages appear like they're increasing when really it's going from $49.99 a year to $29.99 a year, where that's not really 87% off, but it's like they say it's off a base price of $100 a year. And so there's also creative ways to show higher levels of discounts and increasing discounts for your users to kind of drive that motivation and capture their attention. Okay, so additional second offers. Lifetime subscriptions can be an option for people that are kind of adverse to subscriptions, and so don't hesitate to try out kind of essentially a one-time purchase, a lifetime offer to use your app as a secondary monetization attempt. I don't love lifetime offers as the first paywall because I think that there's risk of cannibalization of subscription revenue. But if you price it appropriately, maybe. But I think as second offers for people who didn't convert, or potentially upgrading people from low LTV plans to get a higher purchase, or people that you think aren't going to retain, if you can kind of try to capture some value early, lifetime can be a super valuable approach.
Yeah, well, the same with me. I personally not a fan of lifetime offers, and on the web, usually it's not the case where you sell these lifetime subscriptions, because web depends a lot on the renewals. Almost never you have like 100% draws on the first payment. You do need renewals, and in most cases, your renewals should be bigger than the initial payment. That's why lifetime is not the case. But yeah, worth testing.
Yeah, potentially someone gets into your app from kind of web conversion. Maybe they cancel. Maybe it's a secondary offer. Maybe it's a win back offer. Sometimes for maybe via email and kind of driving purchases on web. I see that Babbel does a lot of this on kind of web purchases. I have probably hundreds of Babbel emails in my inbox advertising a lifetime subscription, and so they definitely convert. So if you're saying, hey, you have a high value product, they're selling it for $200 or $300 to someone that's free. A few percentage points of conversion there can make it quite valuable. So is it the first thing you should try? No. But is it something to have in your toolbox? Yeah, give it a go. All right. And so there's not enough simple personalization on your paywalls because if you have a quiz flow, you've asked your users a lot of questions. You've asked, what their goals are, what's motivating them, why are they trying your product? You know where they're coming from. Are you using any of that, or are you still showing everybody the same text, the same creative on that paywall? Think about simple personalization. Don't get complex with crazy personalized things. But what I see work really well is personalizing the title of your paywall and making that relevant to someone's goals they've stated before. So here's an app, Timo. Timo's built around kind of a productivity app for neurodivergent people. They ask you up front, I'm neurodivergent. I think I am. I'm not neurodivergent. I don't know. This is super simple personalization. If you say you are, on the paywall, they say carefully crafted for neurodivergent people. If they don't, it's more generic. But this almost always increases conversion with this simple personalization and either on the title or imagery. Don't get crazy, but simple personalization often works.
Completely agree here. I would also say that there are two ways how we usually make personalization on the paywall on web funnels. The first way is we change the first screen of the funnel depending on the creative, depending on the content of the creative, the offer that was there, and then we second this offer on the paywall. So like the same offer should be in the beginning of the funnel, like why should I complete the funnel? And then in the end, why should I buy the product? And these are like two most important parts of the whole funnel. And the other way is we show some offer on the first screen, and then depending on the answers, we change the offer on the paywall, and it works in most cases because it shouldn't be generic like your plan is ready. Which plan is ready? Why should I buy it? But yeah, here really nice example, and this would be one of the top recommendation that I would give to anyone building onboardings and paywalls.
Yeah, it's a great point on the acquisition source that you have different types of creative, you have different types of ads. They're talking about different motivation, different messages. Someone clicked on that ad for a reason. They're telling you what they're interested in. Use it, right? Use it throughout the as kind of breadcrumbs throughout, and this level of personalization kind of create this continuous message. You need to be doing it.
Yeah. What's your goal? What's your main point? And these kind of questions. Exactly. They will give ideas on how to personalize the offer on the paywall.
Exactly. Cool. All right. Yeah, basically what we just talked about. Cool. And so, we clearly we don't need to convince people to try to purchase outside in-app purchases. If you're using web to wave, this is you already understand the value of kind of driving web to app. But think about the other side too. If someone comes into your app, can you send them out to a web conversion flow, either from, and this is right now for app to web, US users, US app stores only, as a reminder. But also, if you have an email address, you can direct people to kind of web conversions here. And so, don't ignore both flows of web to app, of going into converting people from an ad to a web funnel and then to an app. But also, you probably have some people discovering your app organically if you have some level. If you started kind of web acquisition funnels, web acquisition flows in your app, you can also send people outside to purchase on web as well. If you're doing this, if you're not above $1 million in proceeds, probably don't test this out, there's going to likely a conversion decrease. And until you get to the 30% commission rate, this is when we see it as truly effective and impactful. But if you're below that anyway, like, you should be more focused. You should be trying to optimize one kind of one funnel, one conversion area anyway. It might be a distraction.
Yeah, well, nothing to add here because I don't monitor much this kind of flow up to Webflow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw examples. There is a Call AI case which made these examples not that appealing because like they were mimicking the Apple Pay payments
Right.
completely into the Apple Store payments, and App Store doesn't like it. So those cases who were mimicking, they are not that cool if you don't do it the way. But still, there are a lot of apps who do that.
Yeah. So it's important. Yeah, important point on compliance. My guidance is do not try to implement web payments within your app. The compliant approach is directing to an external web page to purchase outside of your app. Now, there's still some debate on whether this can be a pop-up or a web modal, a web view that appears, or you actually have to direct to a web page outside the app. I see people doing both. The 100% compliant is direct to a full external web page. Probably fine. I'm not promising you anything, but like a web view within your app, we see work as well. One other point, what I see working here is don't simply direct to just a checkout page outside the app. Think about it. You're sending them to a different experience. And so make sure the experience feels cohesive. And so what I see working better is directing to outside the app, but having like a multi-page paywall there where you're kind of building an experience, getting someone comfortable being on the website, and then asking to purchase there. And so this is what I see working there.
Yeah, and we have a couple of questions from Berlin here. Hi, by the way. So the first one is, if someone comes to your website and purchases a subscription, will Apple allow them to sign in without the purchase being in-app purchase? Yes, this is the web-to-app flow, meaning that you completely allowed to accept payments before downloading the application, like on your website or on web-to-web funnel or whenever you need, and then sending the user to mobile application and activating to them the subscription inside the app is completely legal. And what we see now on the screenshot, this is a different flow, which is new. It's like 1 year 1 year ago, Apple was forced to allow external payments inside mobile application. It works only in the United States. Only there you can do this kind of stuff. Yeah, in other countries, you cannot send the user from mobile application to external payments. And actually, inside their terms of use, App Store terms of use, there is a clear messaging that you cannot send the user from mobile application to complete the payment. Like, this is actually the only thing that they have about are you allowed or not to use other payments. So you cannot use non-IAP payments inside the application, and you cannot send. But in the United States, you can do almost whatever.
As long as the purchase is outside, but you can send people, and you can't even, outside the US, you can't even talk about it. You can't even mention that it's possible to pay. You kind of have to like go, hey, maybe it's like, if you want to go do something, maybe you can do it out some other place, but there's like, this is the anti-steering. And so you can't even steer people to other places. And so it's quite restrictive, but to your point, what you can get someone to purchase on web, get the login, create an account, and send them into the app. and this is quite effective.
Yeah, and and actually, let me double check. Yeah, like for instance, in Spotify, I'm in Spain now. Like there is no way to pay right in Spotify, and there is no way like to manage your payments. They just say like you can manage your account on Spotify, so they are not like encouraging you to go there. They just explain that it's possible to manage there.
Exactly. All right, cool. I think we've got a couple more here. Let's see. Actually, it looks like that was our last tip. So right on time, right on schedule. And so, one last tip here from Christian. Christian Rotari. He was monetization lead at Zing. Zing AI, and a lot of experience with web funnels and app to web and web to app. And so if you are doing app to web or web to app on iOS, you got to have Apple Pay. Apple Pay is a huge point, but test different flows, test different integrations. You don't have to have Apple Pay set up to validate. You can kind of just have a kind of Stripe implementation. But to our points, you need to redirect outside of your app to purchase. And so this is, I think, kind of old advice. We now see kind of there was this gray area, the wild west of app to web before Apple started banning things where people actually were using Apple Pay on the paywall in your app. Now you'll get rejected. They're being less ambiguous. They're still not clear rules, but we do see rejections for that. And so direct people outside of the product to purchase there, or direct them from the ad to the web funnel first and get them to purchase, then direct them into the app. Cool. Well, this was a lot of fun. We've got, as you can see, we've got a lot more tips in the full ebook. If you guys want to go find that, we can follow up with that and share a link to that so you can see the full 48 laws of subscription apps. But this was awesome, Igor.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, you have a few moments to ask them in the chat. Yeah, so we have a question related to the previous conversation that we had. The flow that, this flow, it's completely legal in the App Store. On Google, it's kind of legal, but more complex because you have to pay some commission to Google directly if you use payments, external payments inside your mobile application. And I don't remember any cases for Android who did the flow like that. And they don't have Apple Pay, which is pretty useful in these conversions. So yeah,
they have Google Pay, but I haven't seen this either. I don't know anybody doing this on Android. So maybe that says something about just overall Android monetization, but it's less done on that side.
Yeah, for Google Pay, it's a little bit more complex because you have to be authorized in the browser that has saved cards there, which is not the case for the web views. You can send the user to an external page, but it ruins the conversions. But anyways, I don't know any cases on Google. Looks like you, Jacob, too. Do not know. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All ideas are very valuable, and again, most of them can be reused and are reused by us on web funnels. To summarize, guys, message me or Jacob to get the full presentation. Try again in a few seconds. Google Home is speaking. And if you need to build web funnels, go to Web2Wave, and if you want to improve your pricing, go to Botsi, and if you want to improve your pricing on web funnels, we meaning Web2Wave and Botsi can help you with that. Okay, then I think that's it for the moment. Thank you, Jacob. Or you want to add some information about Botsi?
No, all good. I think the last night we talked about it originally, but yeah, Botsi helps you figure out the right offer to show to each user, building custom models for your app. Typically we start working with customers when they're above around 500K to $1 million ARR. That's when it starts making sense, when we have enough data to really start optimizing and show a valuable uplift, I think, which aligns with kind of where we're working with you guys on the web to wave clients. But yeah, figure out the right offer to show to each user, essentially.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.